Anthony Joshua, Daniel Dubois, break it down for me.
It's a grotesque mismatch.
As for AJ and Daniel Dubois, I think that fight gets made, it's over inside 2 rounds.
Joshua fights Daniel Dubois in London, Wembley Stadium, this Saturday. And I cannot wait for this fight. I can't wait for this fight because, you know, I'm sitting here on fight week and I'm just listening to what everyone's saying. And I think people are acting like this is a foregone conclusion for Joshua. And I just think that Dubois is being massively disrespected. You know, as you can see, Tony Bellew is here saying that basically Daniel Dubois is in the same category as Francis Ngannou, and Joshua is going to blow him out in a couple rounds. You know, Spencer Fearon saying that it's a mismatch. Look, I'm not really concerned about what Tony Bellew's got to say. I mean, this is the same guy that said Callum Smith was going to knock out Beterbiev in 6 rounds. And if you watch that fight, it was one of the easiest fights of Beterbiev's career. Beterbiev knocked him out. Callum Smith did not win a round. He didn't win 1 second of that fight. And at the end of the fight, Beterbiev was barely breathing. So I'm not really interested in his comments. And as for Spencer Fearon, you know, this is a guy that he just likes Anthony Joshua. He likes Anthony Joshua, and he's got a personal vendetta against Daniel Dubois. So let's talk about this fight. People on Fight Week, for some reason, are acting like Anthony Joshua, you know, he's got no weaknesses. Dubois can't hit him. And like I said, basically Dubois has got no chance. Listen to me loud and clear. Daniel Dubois has got a massive chance in this fight. To beat Anthony Joshua, you need to have a good engine. Okay? Now, that's actually controversial because I think at times Dubois has not had the best of engines. But it has improved with the Jarrell Miller fight, who was, you know, a top 10, top 15 heavyweight, and also with the Hrgovic fight, who was a definite top 10 heavyweight. So his stamina is improved. Number 2, Daniel Dubois will come at you. Daniel Dubois will come at you, and he likes to close the gap and get inside and rough you up. That is a nightmare style for Joshua, and Dubois can also punch. He's a hard puncher that's shown in his last few fights a very, very good chin. So, you know, Daniel Dubois will hit Joshua in this fight. And this is going to be the first fight in a long time that we will see how Joshua reacts to getting hit. Because I think Usyk obviously landed some big shots on Joshua, but it was more of a, you know, technical boxing fight. It wasn't really until you know, we have to go back to Andy Ruiz, that someone really put it on Joshua. And as you can see, when someone really puts it on him, he doesn't know what to do. He doesn't know how to hold on. You know, he doesn't have that great of head movement. You know, he's not Pernell Whitaker in that. He's not defensively very good. And when you hit Joshua, he shows a suspect chin. So I think Dubois got a massive chance in this fight. You know, I'm seeing everyone in England basically saying, you know, it's a 90-10 split. Dubois does not have a chance. 2-3 round job. That's not going to happen. So, you know, I can assure you that that is not going to happen. I will stand firm. Dubois is not getting knocked out in 2 or 3 rounds. He's not. Okay, and we can come back to this video on Sunday and see if that happens. Daniel Dubois got a serious chance in this fight. Give me a couple days, and I'm going to drop my official prediction. But Daniel Dubois got a massive chance in this fight. So I think people are missing a trick here. You know, I know Anthony Joshua is a big star in England. I know everyone likes him. You know, he is a great ambassador for the sport, cool guy, you know, mainstream athlete, superstar. You know, he's a massive name in boxing. You know, 96,000 fans at Wembley tells you that. But that doesn't have anything to do with his actual boxing ability. And I think he is a good fighter. But I think he's got vulnerabilities, and there are weaknesses there. And you can exploit them. You know, he's been dropped numerous occasions. A 41-year-old Vladimir Klitschko, Andy Ruiz, you know, dropped him 3-4 times and knocked him out. You know, Usyk beat him twice. You know, this is the same person. You know, people are acting like Daniel Dubois is an awful fighter. He's a bum. Daniel Dubois did what Tyson Fury couldn't do in 12 rounds. And he also did what Anthony Joshua couldn't do in 24 rounds against Usyk. And he dropped Usyk. Now, whether you think that's a controversial punch, it was a low blow. Look, I thought it was borderline. But he still dropped him. And, you know, Usyk, how is Anthony Joshua against Dubois not competitive and a grotesque mismatch, as they called it? But Dubois against Usyk was not a mismatch. Dubois lost that fight clear, fair and square. He lost that fight clearly. But that fight was competitive and Dubois was always in that fight. So I'm not really sure where, people are saying that this is a mismatch. In my opinion, this is a 60-40 fight in Anthony Joshua's favor. And if Daniel Dubois, this is what it's going to come down to. If Daniel Dubois does not let the occasion get to him and, the bright lights and walking out at Wembley Stadium and all these things, if Daniel Dubois does not let that get to him, I think he's got a serious chance in this fight.